Hey everyone! Welcome to another episode of Renton Reflex. The very first time I ever heard of this movie was when the angry video game nerd did a review of it. Out of curiosity, I decided to see if it was as bad as he made it out to be. And is it? Well, yes, but first, allow me to elaborate. Essentially, it's meant to be a parody of the Rocky Balboa movies, where you have a professional boxer named Ricky who lives with his girlfriend Angela, who runs a crisis center. One day, she tells him that she's pregnant, so he decides to quit boxing altogether and go for a new career change in order to provide enough financial support for the baby. He tries various jobs. At one point in the story, he serves as a male gigolo dressing up like a rabbit. No, seriously! I'm also not kidding when I say that Ricky has a rather interesting history of being a male stripper wearing a horse mask. I guess it's supposed to be a takeoff of the Italian Stallion, but it's just really bad. Anyway, there's another boxer who's mostly referred to throughout the movie as the Champ, and Ricky is eventually encouraged to go through some training to try and fight the Champ in a boxing match. The question that remains is, does Ricky have what it takes to fulfill his dream of being a true boxing champion? I honestly had no idea this movie even existed when I was a kid, and probably for good reason. It's not just bad, it's awful. Awful in the sense that it's pathetic. It seems apparent that the one person who served as writer, producer, director, and editor of this movie clearly had no idea how parody movies are supposed to work. Unlike other parody movies in the likes of Naked Gun, Airplane, and Hot Shots, they at least had some subtlety in their humor, whereas this movie barely has any. It also seems apparent that there wasn't a whole lot in the Rocky movies to make fun of, so the creator of this movie probably decided to throw in some filler and tie them all together in hopes of giving the movie that extra gravitas and weight. And also try to be funny in the process. Unfortunately, such an attempt turned out to be very poor. Such examples of filler include having someone give a demonstration of an exploding doormat to keep burglars out, and there's also someone who makes random phone calls offering to sell shares in a pornographic business. What do any of such things have to do with Rocky? Asides all that, the execution is lame, there's a lack in development from the lead characters, there isn't much to look at based on the dark cinematography, and I swear, the jokes just keep getting dumber and dumber as the movie progresses. Especially with the cheap visual gags and numerous adult jokes thrown in there. All of this culminates in an experience that's not so intellectually enlightening. As the angry video game nerd said in his review of it, thank God there's no Ricky 2. On a scale between 1 and 10, I give this film a 1.5. And that concludes my review. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.